hunger is especially worse in countries where agricultural systems are highly sensitive to rainfall, temperature, and severe drought.
The last 20 years have been a dramatic rate of 250% in direct economic losses from climate-related disaster.
We still have disaster losses on constant, very sharp increase actually.
Poor farmers, for smallholders, it's just the other way around. They cannot afford to take risks because they would lose too much.
The cause of this rise in hunger is climate variability added to conflicts and in some cases economic setback.
Designated in 1989 to promote a global culture of risk awareness and disaster risk reduction, and also to celebrate and highlight many efforts that we as partners are doing together in this area.
The Sendai framework for disaster risk reduction calls on the country to reduce direct disaster economic loss in relation to global GDP by 2030.
We need to find a way for disaster risk reduction capacity development to be much more people-centered.
It's very important that we try to promote and support actors in the field.
How we can build on the adaptive capacity of people who are the actors in these systems to achieve these goals.
Local actors, including local communities, local governments, local authorities, and NGOs are very, very important because they are the first to respond in the time of disasters, and of course they are the first to suffer its impacts as well.
Today's debate is very timely and an important input in the critical area of disaster risk reduction.
Top-down and bottom-up approaches are complementary and not contradictory.
Agricultural losses make up roughly a quarter of the total economic damage caused by natural disasters.
Good farming practices preventing and deriving from the type of disaster have to be further promoted.
Who else knows better the feeling of losing crops or livestock than the local community?
Local actions in the DRR and CCA take place in small-scale geographical locations and address the need of the local population.
Supporting them by financing CCA and DRR solutions.
Only effective risk reduction and adaptation can contribute to increased resilience and therefore sustainable development.
80% of the agricultural impact comes from droughts, and that's a bit the less visible thing.
For us in FAO, the frequency and intensity of these climate extremes and climate-induced disasters have grave implications for our mandate of ending hunger and malnutrition. Intensified partnerships amongst UN agencies and governments are ever more essential as we address global challenges that require the sharing of experience and knowledge and the pooling of our expertise.
In order to win the fight against hunger, climate change, and disasters, we need to act urgently. We need to accelerate and scale up our actions to strengthen resilience and adaptive capacity of people and their livelihoods. We also need to multiply our efforts on disaster risk reduction and climate change adaptation, including in the agriculture sectors, to reduce existing risks, prevent the creation of new risk, and build capacities to absorb shocks or mitigate their impacts.
We are the Zero Hunger Generation.